What's up? Okay, there we are. And welcome to the series review of The Iron Fist. No, Luke Cage. No, Daredevil. No, Jessica Jones. No, put them all together and you got the Defenders. Dun dun dun. Now, this stars Charlie Cox, Kristen Ritter, Mike Coulter. It's almost my bedtime. Douglas Petrie and Mario Ramirez. This is like a crime, type of situation, like crime show and superhero saving the day type things. But these aren't your typical heroes. These are your basic everyday around the block heroes. And the way they kind of bridge everybody's story into this is kind of out the box. It kind of messes up their individual things they got on. I hear Iron Fist is not coming back. So we never really get a full explanation of what happened with Kung Lao. It just kind of gets blended into this story and it's just like overlooked. But then again, it was so poorly done. Well, of course, he's the weakest link. And the thing is in the comic, he's not that weak. He's not as weak as they got him here. Here, he's like a spoiled little boy. My job, I'm the Iron Fist, and my job is to kill the Hand. That's what I gotta do. It's my job to kill the Hand. I'm the Iron Fist. Then he go in there and get his butt whooped, and he's pouting and all through the film of the Iron Fist, and he basically does that again in here. Pouts every 10 seconds. No, you don't understand. I gotta go, because I'm the Iron Fist. I'm the only one vowed to stop the Hand. So, as the series continue, it kind of like dilutes his whole involvement. It's like, what do you even need him for? Because really, he's not needed. He's really just there as, he's the problem, actually, because he's the tool in which they need in order to open up this sacred portal so they can get to a mineral so that they can live forever. Yeah. It was weirdly cut, the action shots, because basically they had to use stunt doubles for Jessica Jones, and there's a lot of female activity in here. And then they tried to find a way to make, use of the characters, the side characters, which were very, instrumental in the story of Luke Cage. The side characters. Rosario Dawson, she was good in her role when she played for Daredevil and bridging in through Luke Cage. She's the real connecting piece to everyone except for basically Jessica Jones. The way she blends in with the Iron Fist, Daredevil, and Luke Cage, she's kind of the connection piece between the two. It was rushed. They didn't have enough episodes, so they just ran everything together. That's why the last 3 episodes is like a smorgasbord of everything just smashed into one, and there's no time to explain anything. So it's like they didn't have the money, they didn't have the budget to keep going. And I see why the Punisher wasn't in here. There was no room for anybody else to be in here. It was so rushed. I mean, they had some there was no time. They had to get the action going right away. They tried to use the first couple of episodes, like the first 3, to try to dictate some type of story. And the way they could bridge Jessica Jones in to it by making it a case, which would lead to the involvement of everybody else, and Luke Cage and his personality. And here they just took Luke and made him just like a stooge. And he just walks around blocking bullets, throwing people, but he don't want to hurt nobody. So Luke, I'm like, well, Luke, look, people are dying. You got to get with the program around here real fast. You just throwing people. I don't have nothing to do with it. They shooting at you, dummy. They trying to take you out, and then it's like everybody now his armor don't matter at all. Anybody who from the hand that hits Luke Cage, it has an effect. They can get through his skin. But the Iron Fist, he can't get through their skin unless he uses his Iron Fist. I'm like, how is that? So they just made the Iron Fist really obsolete. I mean, Daredevil's kicking his butt. Everybody can kick his butt until he pulls out the Iron Fist. And that's just the only weapon he got. So in this series, they kind of like weaken Luke Cage, his whole character. He's better with the structure of his own show, being back in his town doing some good. Now, these side characters in this show, like the police, the whole police station is where they wanted to keep everybody of the B characters and throw them in one big scene. I'm glad they took care of that girl from Daredevil, the one that used to work with them. She was so ridiculous. I was just glad they stuck him in there. And finally, his buddy, who's his sidekick, finally said, look, forget all this fighting you to do stuff, man. Look, here's your suit. Here's your outfit. Go do you, man. I can't sit here and deal with this no more. And that crazy blonde, I don't want you to do that. I want you to have a normal life. Why can't you just go to work? I'll be like, look, this is what I do, chick. Yeah, Foggy finally got with the program. Like, look, I gave him his suit. Look, it's something going down. They could probably stop it. You know, let him go. You know, it's time to just let him go be him. Now what's interesting is what's going to happen next. The Iron Fist, he's probably going to be in the Daredevil series now because he probably won't have his own movie. Thank God. Because this was basically another Iron Fist story because the characters are all linked in with Daredevil and Iron Fist. Luke Cage is just drawn into this with Jessica Jones. Now, Luke Cage Season 2, that's going to be great. Because now they get to put him back in there, and the Punisher series is going to be off the chain. The second season of Daredevil would have never been anything if it wasn't for the Punisher. The Punisher was the X factor in that whole series of Season 2 of Daredevil and brought it to a whole new standpoint. Now, we probably get the Alias series now with Jessica Jones. Now she's opened up her agency, so we see where she's at there. And Iron Fist, he's probably going to be the Hell's Kitchen new protector until Daredevil comes back. And then he'll be working side by side with him. Luke Cage is chilling and getting his piece and chilling with Rosario Dawson. Well, then it's going to go more into what she normally does, which would be better because I'm sick of this Jessica Jones. I'm just sick of this version of her. So it's like, okay, we've seen enough of her in Season 1. You would thought after Kilgrave she was back, she was on board. But now she's still back to the same Jessica Jones. And now at the end of this, I guess she finally comes full circle with, I'm tired of running, and now let's go. Daredevil and Iron Fist are probably going to be there together. They didn't take away Jessica Jones' jumping ability. She jumps in it. I mean, in season 1, you saw she jumped. She just didn't do it in this film. My favorite series out of the 4 is Daredevil. It's better written, better actors in that one. Oh yeah, well in Defenders, yeah. Well, she really didn't have a opportunity or need to jump. Oh yeah, it became the Punisher. Daredevil season 2 became the Punisher show. And now the Punisher's getting his own series. They didn't want to waste him in this Defenders. Which if they do another season of the Defenders, he would be in there. Like he would make an appearance. Because he actually did in the comic. I don't remember Jessica Jones flying in the comics. I remember her jumping and leaping bounds. To me, the weakest character that hurts Daredevil is Elektra. I never liked the character Elektra. She was always weak to me, and Daredevil was the weakest one. Now, I wonder if they ever get to the point where Daredevil and Tony Stark get to meet each other. That would be great. I think Kingpin will return in Defenders Season 2. His schedule didn't allow for him to be in this film. You know, he's a very, sought after actor. So all his characters that he plays, he's in high demand in Hollywood for playing in television, for playing roles. So he wasn't available for a lot of scripts, just like the guy who plays the Punisher. You've seen him in a lot of movies where he's probably in them for like 30, 40 minutes. He was in the Spider-Man movie. He's been in a lot of films where he's only in it for a little bit of time. Yes, I was very unimpressed with Defenders. Very unimpressed. I mean, just they just screwed this whole thing up. It was so jam packed and colluded. The pacing is off. You didn't care about the police department. You didn't care about any of the characters in the entire film. So you really don't care what happens to Daredevil. You don't care what happens to Stick. You don't care about Jessica Jones. You definitely don't care about the Iron Fist. And you really don't care about Luke Cage. You don't care about anybody in this thing. You almost side with the Hand yourself. You be like, look, I understand what the Hand's trying to do. Look, if the city come down, let it come down. Who cares at this point? The police is so annoying because it's like these people have special abilities. It's like, look, let them go do what they do. Stay out of the way. Now the fight scenes was pretty cool. Some of them were. And some of them was just repetitive. And it didn't even make sense. It's like they rather talk than fight. And the guy who kept, like, it became a ongoing joke of him still trying to recruit this girl. Every time he slice her back, he slice her up, he still want to recruit her. And then he cuts that cop's arm off who just don't know how to sit it down somewhere. And she keep I'm trying to do my job. It's the job. Go sit at home. That's your job. Yeah, Daredevil had the best fight scenes because it was mostly guys and it wasn't colluded with trying to cut the screen to make sure everybody's in it. It was honed in mostly on one character, which was Daredevil. And he was doing most of the fighting. Now you got four people you got to focus on. The Iron Fist, who can't seem to fight at all, to somebody who came up under Kung Lao. I mean, he's very limited. The only thing he could beat up is street ghouls, which basically makes him a stooge when he's supposed to be a living weapon. He was never like this in the comics. The Iron Fist was basically the leader. And I mean, like, everybody's beating him. Kind of a monk is he? He's got to use the Iron Fist. That's the only thing he can do. Go ahead, break it out. Break out that fist. He's a one-trick pony. He never finished training, obviously. He needs to go back, because all he got is that fist, that glow in the dark. That's it. And I mean, that was so dumb. All he had to do was not hit the wall. That's all he had to not do. I'll be like, well, this is going to be real short. All I got to do is not punch the wall with my Iron Fist. Well, then y'all can beat me all day. I ain't doing that. We all good. Deuces. We'll be here all night. And what does he do? He goes and gets the Iron Fist and trying to punch her, he's hitting the wall. So dumb. I'm like, what kind of writing is this? CW all day. Yeah, exactly. I expect that kind of writing on the CW. But, like I said, they probably had to, didn't get a big budget from Netflix. You can tell it was only 8 episodes. Which is probably should have been a 12. Oh yeah, Danny ran the whiny little brat. I mean, my goodness, he's whining every 10 minutes about something. Danny, calm down. No, it's my fight. I'm the Iron Fist. And all I gotta do is bend down to beat the hand. I'm the one that's gotta do it. It'd be like, look, sit down. No, I'm gonna do it. I gotta stop it right now, Danny. They're gonna take you and then we gotta come get you. So why don't you sit down somewhere? No, because I'm the Iron Fist. And my job, I'm the sworn enemy of the hand. I'm like, if this dude one more time tells the people they've already heard that song before, it don't mean nothing. Have a seat. No, not too many episodes. 12 is not too many. Hell, 10 would have been great. That way you could have spaced it out and had more story instead of making this so colluded within with 8 episodes, the last 3 episodes was just unnecessary fighting. It was so bad that it came right on with fighting in one episode. They just fighting in a restaurant. That whole restaurant scene, I'm just like, man, this is crazy. There's no character development. They just threw all the side characters in one police station. Then the one cop who's always following Luke Cage, she's in there. And she's asking all these questions, like trying to do an investigation. I'm like, an investigation? Like, you finna get some arrests? We've been following this shadow organization. And what have you got? Nothing. I'm like, how you gonna charge somebody, everybody in the room knocked out and there's 2 dead bodies and you talking about charging somebody? I'll be like, woman, if we was knocked out, how in the world you gonna charge us for a crime? Don't you think if we'd killed 2 people, we wouldn't have been there? All right, and then she show up and get her arm chopped off. I'm like, that's what's up. Because I was like wondering why he ain't killing her. He should have killed that cop the first time he knocked her down. He chopped her arm off and she went and sat down somewhere. I'm like, good, that's what she get for coming up in there. Sit your butt down. He told you to stay at the station. Oh yeah, Luke Cage done smashed everything on the screen. He done smashed Jessica Jones. He done smashed that chick, cop chick. He done smashed Rosario Dawson. He just smashing. He's like, look, I got an invincible body and I'ma use it. I'm finna smash. And I'm like, this is Luke Cage who done killed everything in season 1 on Luke Cage. Anything came across Luke, he was taking them out. I rate this series, if I had to do it by a 4-star rating system, I'll say this is 2 stars. If it was out of a 10-point system, it would be a 5.5. Lack of story, the rush job, character development, everything keeps this at a 5. 5.5 if we want to do a 10 system. But that's it. I'm finna go ahead and go to bed. Y'all have a great night. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button, which I'm quite sure everybody's in here has been notified already. So I'm out. Thank you.